Today's topic is the Vermont Green Home Alliance, and Jeff Gieshart has over 25 years experience providing residential construction, energy efficient program designs, marketing, and implementation for Vermont utilities since 2000 for Efficiency Vermont, Vermont's statewide energy efficient utility. Over his career, Jeff has worked with architects, builders, and home buyers, helping the build, renovate, and certify homes to high standards of energy efficient and sustainability. Since 2008, as Chief Cat Herd of the Vermont Green Home Alliance, Jeff has led this informal volunteer alliance of construction and real estate trade association working to attain market transformation, meaning value for sustainable buildings by dramatically increasing building performance, education, and information sharing with real estate professional appraisers, lenders, MLS, and realtors. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine. You're shorting yourself on the background bio as a co-presenter here.
And I'm Christine Davidson, and I work for the Association of Vermont Credit Unions, helping each credit union in Vermont.
Great. Well, you know, come up to a house that's got solar panels on the roof, there's something you can see. What happens though when you come up to an energy efficient home?
You can't see
while
anything.
efficiency is important to many buyers, and we're seeing that in surveys conducted by the National Association of Realtors, by the National Association of Home Builders. You know, though efficiency is important to buyers, much of what makes a home highly energy efficient is invisible and unfortunately stays invisible during most real estate transactions. So how do we make energy efficiency visible to real estate professionals and for the homeowner, the borrower? There is a white paper called Unlocking the Value of an Energy Efficient Home, a blueprint to make energy efficiency improvements visible in the real estate market, that was put together back around 2012, I would guess, 2013. It says right on it, and it includes what is called the Visible Value Blueprint. The Visible Value Blueprint has 7 steps. One is to document energy efficiency features and improvements using consistent and standardized methods. Secondly, to disclose inventories of energy efficient homes to track supply. Why would a realtor or an appraiser or a lender really care if there wasn't an inventory of such homes? So on the efficiency side, we've got to disclose those inventories. The 7 steps include capitalizing on existing high quality continuing education and designation training, on working with the MLS community to ensure that data about home energy efficiency improvements are incorporated into for sale listings. And we got to ensure that the data about home energy efficiency improvements are incorporated in the appraisal process as well. And, you know, we really need standards and IT solutions that will allow quicker and more automated transfer of efficiency data. And we certainly want to work, and are doing so here today, with our partner financial institutions to ensure the selection of qualified appraisers for high performance homes. Actually, the Visible Value Blueprint, you know, this real estate market transformation schema, the Vermont Green Home Alliance actually helped to create. The Green Home Alliance is an informal alliance of collaborating trade organizations and businesses, and we cooperate on a consensus basis. If we can't reach a consensus, we park whatever the issue is. We may revisit it in the future. It may stay parked forever. But what we do is we share information across the professions, and we look for and try to remove barriers to energy efficiency in the real estate transaction process and financing process. Our mission statement is the transformation of the real estate market so that buyers and sellers can identify and accurately value energy benefits. We adopted that mission because if the buyers and the sellers can identify and accurately value the efficiency and renewable energy benefit, we know it's because the real estate professionals have done their job and know how to do that too. So who are the Vermont Green Home Alliance participants? Well, first amongst the crew here alphabetically is the Association of Vermont Credit Unions. We work with the Building Professionals Association. Those are contractors that do home weatherization and audit work. Efficiency Vermont is a part. We have other financial institutions, the Appraisal Institute chapter, builders, solar installers, U.S. Department of Agriculture, the Professional Home Association or inspectors, the realtors, the home builders and remodelers, to name just a few, and would encourage you to take a look at the resources that we have on our little website. So I want to elaborate a little bit on this visible value blueprint. The Green Home Alliance actually structures all of our meetings and our work and reporting on this framework. So step one, the documentation of energy efficiency features and improvements using consistent standardized methods. These logos and scores show what those efficiency standards are that can be achieved here in Vermont. We've got the home energy rating certificate and score, index score shown on the lower left. The Appraisal Institute's residential green and energy efficient addendum up on the left, upper left. The HERS score I just mentioned is on the lower right. But again, these are just some of the designations available from Efficiency Vermont, as well as from green certification programs and Passive House. We want to disclose the inventories of energy efficient homes to track supply. Efficiency Vermont has the home performance with Energy Star service. And Vermont Gas Systems has services for existing homes, as does our State Office of Economic Opportunity and their weatherization assistance program for low-income homeowners and renters. Since 2011, through the end of 2018, over 13,000 homes statewide were weatherized following current or modern building science principles and practices. So that's quite an inventory of existing homes, and many of them are up on the market for sale over time. In new construction since 2000, Efficiency Vermont has certified over 7,500 homes across the state. And we're now getting into a category of really super duper new homes. These homes are Efficiency Vermont certified high performance homes. In other words, they are ready to become net zero energy homes, or they are net zero energy homes simply with the installation of photovoltaic PV panels on the roof or a rack on the ground. So we're really building up an inventory of these homes. It's been happening over some time, so they're starting again to come up on the market. On the solar side, the Energy Atlas is a good way to see market penetration of solar. There are now over 13,000 net metered solar photovoltaic installations in Vermont. This Energy Atlas can show you where they are. You can drill down to an individual property and see the size of the array, the address of the array. It's a great tool for realtors and appraisers when looking for homes with renewable energy for comparables. We want to capitalize on existing high quality continuing education and designation training, or create it, and we do both. In 2015, 17, and 2019, the Vermont Association of Realtors and other Vermont Green Home Alliance participants held the held Vermont Green Real Estate Symposiums, and these were well-attended events. At Lake Fairley and one at Killington. In 2018 and 2020, the Vermont Association of Realtors conducted their two-day National Association of Realtors Green Designation courses. We've got about 25 realtors that have earned that designation with the support from other Vermont Green Home Alliance participants, Efficiency Vermont, our MLS, NIRN, Vermont State Employees Credit Union, all participated in that education process. The Vermont Association of Realtors is offering a couple of energy-related courses at the moment in collaboration with Efficiency Vermont. I teach a 2-hour continuing education credit course, and Dave Keefe, who presented on the code the other day, does two-hour continuing education courses on how existing buildings or how buildings work. Appraiser education, you like to take that, Christine?
Sure. So the Appraiser Education is a New Hampshire and Vermont chapter of the Appraisal Institute, and they collaborate with VGHA members to offer the Appraisal Institute Valuation of Sustainability, Buildings, Professional Development Program, and Registry course. And Efficiency Vermont and VSECU have underwritten the course, and Efficiency Vermont paid a rebate to activate Vermont licensed appraisers who accept fee assignments for being listed on the Valuation of Sustainability Buildings Professional Registry. Efficiency Vermont and RESNet free webinars. So the ones that are coming up is July 10th, all at 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And now this...
I'd interject there too that these webinars are being recorded and they are up on Efficiency Vermont's website, the June one. So one can go back and catch all of these 1-hour free webinars.
And they're all on different topics, Jeff?
Yes. Well, they're all about appraising. Sandra Adams is the instructor, and they're all about appraising high-performance homes.
But do they all have different content on it? Or is it just the same, so you just click one?
No, they all have different, they're all different presentations.
Perfect.
It starts out with a summary and then drills down into more detail in the next 2 sessions.
Yeah. And Sandra is very knowledgeable. Valuation of Sustainable Building Professional Registry required courses. There's at the Introduction to Green Building, which is 7 hours, the case studies in appraising green residential buildings is 7 hours, and residential and commercial valuation of solar is a 15-hour required course. The Appraiser Education is Calypso Online Education in Vermont, has an 8-hour online course on green building. And Efficiency Vermont and the National Renewable Energy Laboratory conducted additional state-approved continuing education credit courses at Efficiency Vermont Better Building by Design Conference in 2018. Efficiency Vermont recently provided copies of the residential green valuation tools to 20 Vermont appraisal trainees. Now, Jeff, are there a lot of people that are starting to become appraisers, do you know, in the state of Vermont? Or
well, we were able to identify 20 trainees on the state's license roster. Approached their mentors to let them know we wanted to provide these books and make sure that they were comfortable with that, and then we sent them out by mail to these trainees. Vermont is going to have a very significant turnover. Many appraisers in the state are getting very close to retiring, so
nice.
Efficiency Vermont's focus is on the younger appraisers,
Yep.
the appraisers who have not been licensed for a long time, on the theory that they're going to be around for a while and are going to need to know about how to appraise these high performance homes.
Are you guys trying to make it mandatory that if they become an appraiser, that they need to also have the green type of education kind of?
That's not really our role, but that is indeed what has happened through the Appraisal Foundation. The Appraisal Foundation is chartered by Congress and established to generate the rules for appraisal. The Appraisal Foundation is behind the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice, USPAP, and in very recent times has now required some level of education on high efficiency and green building as part of the qualifying education.
So then that will be great for credit unions in the next few years.
Yeah, and what I can't get a handle on is how the education providers are incorporating this yet. The Appraisal Foundation sets the rules, but has no mechanism to really determine
Gotcha.
whether it's followed. That's up to state boards.
Right. Okay. So several lending agencies, associations, and institutions participate in the VGHA, including us, the Association of Vermont Credit Unions, New England Federal Credit Union, U.S. Department of Agriculture Rural Development Housing Program, Vermont Housing Finance Agency, Vermont State Employees Credit Union. Efficiency Vermont is pleased to assist lenders with any education needs related to energy efficient and Efficiency Vermont services.
And of course, the Association of Vermont being a participant in the Vermont Green Home Alliance can help with a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Step four of this blueprint is to work with the MLS community and ensure that the data about home efficiency improvements are incorporated into their for sale listings. The New England Real Estate NARIN Network, NARIN, our RMLS, meets the Real Estate Standard Organization's guidelines for approved green data fields to hold the energy efficiency certifications, profiles, ratings, and scores. And they're, in fact, one of the nation's leading MLSs in their effort to adopt appropriate fields to document this information. NARIN has data on solar installations in the MLS now. A realtor putting in a listing can look at the source to see whether there is a PV system on a home and can pull that data straight into the MLS listing if indeed they find it. NARIN conducts training on the use of these fields as well as additional resources in support of high performance homes and homes with renewable energy systems on their membership website.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Christine. Yours is.
Step 5, ensure that the data about the home energy efficient improvements are incorporated in the appraisal process. Efficiency Vermont provides training for design and construction professionals about how to get energy efficient information in renewable energy systems documented and included in appraisals. Appraisal Institute's Residential Green and Energy Efficient Addendum is now being filled out by Efficiency Vermont for all successful participants in the residential new construction service. When presented with this addendum and other supporting documentation, this document lets lenders know to seek an appraiser knowledgeable to appraise high-performance homes and provide the energy data appraisers need. And there will be a hyperlink in this because I do have the slides, so then they can go out and look at it, check it out. And this is the addendum on the side. And when they press that hyperlink, Jeff, that's what it's going to bring them to, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's important, Jeff, that when a member sits down with a mortgage originator, that they should just automatically start telling, or the originator to ask, if the property has any efficiency products or any high performance features of the house. So then the mortgage originator can direct them to this document. Is that correct?
Yeah, that if the applicant isn't bringing that document in, with the inventory that we have in terms of whether I homes and new homes certified by Efficiency Vermont, I think it'd be good practice for appraisers to ask whether a home has had an audit, whether a home worked with Efficiency Vermont or Vermont Gas Systems on efficiency, whether they've incorporated efficiency features in that home. If that is the case and they haven't brought this document in, referring them to it and having them fill it out or having a builder fill it out, whoever the party is that is most knowledgeable about the home should fill it out. But the Uniform Residential Appraisal Report, Form 1004, has just one line item to describe efficiency features and benefits in a home. And that's really insufficient. The appraisal residential green and energy efficient addendum is a legal size document that's 6 pages long. Now, I think 2 pages of that is a glossary, but you need more space to document what exists and what makes a high performance home more efficient and more valuable. And again, the builders, contractors, homeowners, and the third-party verifiers should be the parties that complete this and present it to the appraiser, the real estate agent, the lender, and the homeowner. We also don't want to play that telephone game where somebody whispers a sentence in my ear and I whisper in the next person's ear and then to the next person. By the time it gets all the way around the circle, it's a completely different sentence. Instead of providing documentation and asking realtors to translate and get it over into the MLS, we need to develop standards and IT solutions that allow for quicker and more automated transfer of data. A 3-year federal grant has been used to develop the Home Energy Label Information Exchange, or HELIX. HELIX houses accurate, independent, third-party verified data on energy efficiency and renewable energy. You kind of see in the graphic there, the home energy rating, ResNet HERS index score goes into HELIX. Efficiency Vermont certifications go into HELIX. Green building certifications go in. And then HELIX has the ability to populate the MLS, and the MLS then Trulia and Realtor.com and Zillow and all of that. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the most accurate data available quickly for auto population. Now, this is going to cover all of New England and New York State. It'll provide access to this data for the region's MLSs and their members. And auto population of these green fields from HELIX enables easy input and accurate input into the for sale listings. Value to consumers and real estate professionals, well, it's reliable, third-party verified data about efficiency and renewable energy. The ease of use, particularly when we can auto-populate it, it'll be like just bringing the tax data in. Lowers liability risk for our MLS and for its members. aids realtors and appraisers in finding comparable sales. Um, Aids appraisers as well in assessing and describing market trends, which is another important thing that they should be taking into consideration.
So step 7, work with a partner financial institution to ensure selection of qualified appraisers. Strategies for engaging lenders. There is a guide, and again, I will make sure that you get the slide so you can click on the hyperlink for the appraised value of energy efficient, where it explains why there are issues with appraisals, changes in market demand, energy code updates, and Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FHA requirements for appraiser competency. Engaging lenders using appraised value and energy efficient, getting it right. Template letters for buyers and lenders offer solutions. Prepares buyers for the mortgage application and appraisals. What loan applicants need to do when seeking the mortgage. For lenders, it describes why home is a special property type. Provides a registry where lenders can find qualified appraisers. Explains courseworks those appraisers completed. And this is a little snippet of how many appraisers there are in Vermont. As of September 2019, Vermont has 8 of them, and they are listed here. As you can see, some of them are all over. You know, we have some central Vermont, some in northern. We have some southern, but we still need more.
These are the appraisers that are on the Appraisal Institute's Evaluation of Sustainable Buildings Professional Registry. This is the old printout from the website. It will list all of these folks, absent Milne Allen Appraisal Services, who is in New Hampshire but also works in Vermont. We know 8 is not enough, but we are ahead of most of the other New England region states in this. What we really need is we need appraisers to understand clearly and hear from lenders that these appraisal skills and knowledge are important to them. That will really tip the balance on this and help us get more on board. This particular engagement strategy has been adopted by others as well. The Building Performance Association represents weatherization contractors, weatherization assistant programs, and auditors. And so they're adopting this approach with a letter for a buyer and a letter for the lender. We don't want anybody to be surprised. We'd like to have every chance to get this information early and right up front so that it works into the process.
And this is a letter from the National Association of Realtors. And there will be links again when I send out the information so that you can have the information for your buyers and for the lenders.
Again, using the same process or same strategy, a template letter for the buyer to bring with them to the loan application. Actually, the template letter for the buyer prepares them for the loan application, and they bring with them the letter for the lender, along with the supporting documentation like the residential green efficient addendum, any certifications for Efficiency Vermont, their home energy rating score, all of that kind of thing.
Well, and thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
No,
I do.
good.
Thank you. I do want to thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you helping with the Green Home coffee hour break series. We are going to be continuing the coffee break series in the month of July, but it's going to be geared towards fraud. And so if anybody wants to be added to my list of for the series, just email me. And if anybody has any questions about Efficiency Vermont or anything that they should be doing for the credit union, you can contact Jeff.
Yeah.
And thank you. I appreciate everybody's support.